Hello students, welcome back to online classes of Darbar Government Senior Secondary English Medium School Sambhar Lake. Students, today we are going to read the chapter 1. The title of the chapter is 3 questions. Students, today we will read the text and try to understand in English to English the text. So, before you read, we will read that a king has 3 questions. We will know in this story. This story, as you know, the title is 3 questions. Means there are 3 questions in this story, and the story is related with the king. He had 3 questions and he is seeking answer to them. What are the questions? Students, we will know that what are the questions in this chapter, and do the king get what he wants, and do the king get the answers of 3 questions. We will learn in this chapter that what were the 3 questions and did the king get answer at the last. So let's read the text. Okay. The thought came to the certain king. There was a king. Certain king means there was a king, unknown name. And the king is unknown. The name of the king is unknown. But there was a certain king that he would never fail. A thought came to his mind that he would never fail if he knew 3 things. If he knew 3 things, then he would never fail in the life. He wanted to become a perfect king. He wanted to reign very perfectly. So he had 3 questions in his mind, and he was thinking that if he knew the answers of these 3 questions, that he would reign very properly. So there was the 3 questions in his mind. The 3 things were, what were the 3 questions? What is the right time to begin something? The first question is, what was the right time to begin something? Students, please be alert, because these 3 questions are very important for your question answers. Learn these things. What were the 3 questions? You have to learn this. Learn these 3 things. The first question was, what is the right time to begin something? What was the first question? What is the right time to begin something? Means, what is the right time if you want to begin some work? So, what is the right time? And the second question is, which people should he listen to? And he wanted to know that which people he should listen, that he may rule very properly. And the third and the last question is, what is the most important thing for him to do? And what is the most important thing for him to do? Means, the first question was, what is the right time to start a question, and the second question is, who is the most important person for the king, and the third question is, what work he should do, very important. And what is the most important thing for him to do, means what is the most important work for the king to do. He wanted to know the answer of these 3 questions. So what he did do? The king therefore sent messengers. So king sent the messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these 3 questions. Means, he sent his messenger with a prize, a large amount he will give to him who will answer the 3 questions very perfectly. Okay. And what happened now? Many wise men came to the king. As we know, if there is some prize, and if there is any question, and if there is any query from the kings, the wise men tried to answer that. So many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his question differently. The answers were not same. In reply, the first question, What was the answer of the first question from wise men? Some said the king must prepare a timetable. Means, as the question was, what is the right time to begin something? The king has questioned that what is the right time to do something. So they answered that the king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. Means, they are instructing king that he should make a timetable for his works and he should follow it strictly. Only in this way, they said, could he do everything at its proper time? Means, if he makes a timetable and follows it properly, then he could everything at its proper time. Others said, and the others men said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time to do for doing something. Means, some were unable to answer. Means, what is the right time to do something, they don't know, and nobody can know in advance that what is the right time to do something. So they are unable to answer. Means, they are answering that there is no time, there is no possibility to know the right time to begin something, for doing something. And the king should notice all that was going on, avoid foolish pleasures. And they answered that king should notice all that was going on. Means, what is happening around him, he should notice that and avoid foolish pleasures. Now what happens to the next question? And always do whatever seemed necessary. And the king should always do whatever seemed necessary. Means, whatever he finds necessary to do, he should do it first at that time. Means, he should do the necessary things at that time, and that is the best time, that is the important time to begin that. Okay. Yet others said, and the yet others said means other people said, well, some said that nobody knows the most important times to begin some work, and what is the right time they can't know. And some said that king should make a timetable and follow it strictly. And some said that king should notice everything what is going on, and he should do whatever seemed necessary at that time. And the others answer, what the remained other answer? Others said that king needed a council of wise men who would help him act at a proper time. Means, they are suggesting king that he should make a council of wise men. They would help him to make a perfect timetable, and they will suggest him to do the work at proper time, to decide correctly, and they will help the king to decide the time with correct time without help from others, the right time for everyone, every action. And without any help, the council will help king to make a right decision on a right time. Okay. So, but then others said that there were some things which could be urgent, but some people said that there were some things that were urgent. These things could not wait for the decision. Means, there are some works, for them we can't take time to do action. So these works are very urgent and we can't wait for the council's decision. In order to decide the right time, Lord, for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future. We should look into the future, and means the urgent works can't have time to do, to counsel with the council, and to look into the future and make a decision. And there is no time to do all this, and only magician could do that. Only magician can do that. They can see in the future. So The king therefore would have to go magicians. What a foolish idea they are suggesting to the king. Means they are telling king that the king should go to the magician. So it's not a satisfying answer, I think. So let's read the next para. In their answers to the second question, some said, now they are answering the second question. Now they are answering the second question. In the answer to the second question, some said that people most necessary to the king were his counselors. Means the act, the most important act is which the council is saying, and the most important person for the king are the counselors. Means council and counselors are the most important things for the king, they are saying. Others said, but some other people said the priest, means the pujari, are the important for the king. A few others choose the doctor. Some were saying that doctors are important, and yet others said to his soldiers, means the soldiers are important. Some are saying priests are important. Some are saying counselors are important. Some are saying doctors. Some are saying soldiers are most necessary for a nation. So these are very confusing answers for the king to the third question. And what the third answer the king get from the people? The third question, some said science, some said that the science is very important. What work is the important for the king? So some said the science is important, some chose fighting, some chose religious worship. Means there are many different views for the king to be suggested. As the answer to his question was so different, as the king was asking for the question, the answers were very different. The king was not satisfied and gave no reward. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit. And the king was not satisfied with the answers of the people, and he decided that he would counsel, means he would seek the answer from a hermit. Hermit means saint, means mahagyani, means sadhu. And he would go to a hermit and will seek his answers from him. Now let's see what happens in future. And the hermit, who was widely known for his wisdom, the hermit lived in a wood. The hermit lived in a forest which he never left. Means hermit was living in a forest and he never leaves his hut. He saw no one but simple people. He never goes to any people, only simple people have seen him. And so the king put on ordinary clothes. So means he meets to the only simple persons. He meets with no one person, no other person, no kings, no ministers. He only meets with the simple person. So king changed his get-up into a simple ordinary man. Before he reached the hermit's hut, the king left his horse with his bodyguard. Means if when he was going to the hermit, he left his bodyguards, and he left his horse also at the way. And the king left his horse with his bodyguard and went on alone, and he was going alone to the hermit's hut. As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit digging the ground in front of his hut. What he sees when he reached to the hermit? What he sees that hermit was digging, means khod raha tha. He was digging the ground in front of his hut. He was making beds in front of his hut. He greeted the king. First of all, when he sees the king, he greets him. Who greets him? Who greets king? The hermit greets king and continued digging, but he didn't leave his work. He continued his work. The hermit was old and weak, but what the king sees, that hermit is weak and old, and as he worked, he breathed heavily. So What did the king do? The king went to the hermit and said, I have come to you. The king goes to the hermit and says that I have come to you, means he has come to him. Wise hermit, to ask you answer 3 questions. He says that I have come to you to ask 3 questions, the answer of 3 questions, to get answer of the 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? The first question he repeats, that how can he learn the right thing at the right time? And who are the people I need most, means what people he knows very important and he needs very important, and what affairs are the most important, and what works are the most important for the kings. The hermit listened to the king. What did the hermit? Hermit listened the king, but did not speak. But he didn't speak any word. He went on digging, but he continued his work, and he digs. You are tired. Now the king said the king, you are tired. Let me take the spade. Spade means hull, with the instrument with which the hermit was digging a hole, a bed. So work in your place. So the king requests him that you are very tired. Let me give the spade and I will dig for you. Okay. Thanks, said the hermit. So what did the hermit answer? He said thanks. He thanked the king, giving the king his spade, and he gives his spade to the king. Then he sat down on the ground. Now the hermit sat down on the ground and the king digs the ground. Now let's see what happens. What the king had dug 2 beds, he stopped and repeated his question. When the king had dug 2 beds, means when he has made 2 beds for the flowers, for the flower plants, he stopped and repeated his question again. The hermit gave no answer, but the hermit gave no answer to him. But he stood up, stretching out his hand for the spade, and said, and he asked his king that give me the spade. Now you rest and let me work. But the king did not give the spade and continuing to dig. But the king didn't give him the spade and he continued to the work. 1 hour passed, then the sun went down. 1 hour passed and the second hour passed, and at last the sun went down behind the trees, means the sun set. And at last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me no answer, tell me so, and I will return home. Means he very modest, in a very modest way he says to the hermit that if you are unable to answer me, you can tell me. You tell me that I can't give you answer, I will return back to my home. But say something. But at that time what happens? Here comes someone running, said the hermit. But somebody was coming there running with the speed. The hermit says that somebody is coming to us. Now the students, there are the comprehension check question. Let's see the first question. The first question is, why did the king want to know answers to 3 questions? Why did the king want to know the answers to 3 questions? Because the king had a thought that he would. Students, I will give you this answer in written to you. Students, there is the answer. The answer is because the king thought that he would never fail if he knew the 3 things. If he knew the 3 things, means if he knew the answer of the 3 questions, that what is the most important person, on what is the right time, what is the most important work for the king to do. If he knew the answer of 3 questions, he will be able to rule very perfectly. So he want to know the answer of the three questions. So this is the answer of three questions, answer of the first question. Okay, let's see the next question. The second question is, messenger were sent throughout the kingdom. Why were the messengers sent throughout the kingdom? The first option is to fetch wise men. No. The second option is to find answers to the question. And the third answer is to look for the wise hermit. And the fourth answer to announce a reward for those who could answer the three questions. So mark your choice, student. The appropriate option is, students, the second option is also correct, but the fourth option is very appropriate. The messengers were sent throughout the kingdom to announce a reward for those who could answer the questions. So it is a better choice for us to choose. Okay, so students, second part we will read in our next video. Till then you will read this chapter, and till then, bye bye, take care. Okay.